If you feel like you're constantly stuck in the same loop, living the same day on repeat, or you don't really know what to do this year, this video is for you. I thought I'd make a quick video to touch on this because a couple of years back I was in a similar spot myself. Obviously working a normal 9-to-5 job. I was actually working as a lift engineer at the time. Done a bit of sales, done a bit of construction, done a bit of everything, to be honest. But I thought I'd make this video because it seems that there's a lot of the younger generation seem to be a bit lost. So obviously, depending on what you want to do, this is going to change massively. But this is going to give you a good action plan, a good place to start, instead of just constantly staying in the same loop over and over again. So the very first thing you want to do to try and break out that loop is you want to write down your ideal day. Now, this is going to look very different for everybody. It's not going to be the same. And when I say write out your ideal day, I mean literally write it out on a piece of paper, in your notes, on your phone, whichever way you want to do it. But you want to write down exactly what your ideal day looks like. What time do you get up? What do you do when you get up? What do you do in the morning? What do you do in the afternoon? What do you do in the evening? You want to know this, so it's going to create a good, clear picture in your head of how it is you want to be living, because everybody's got this preconceived idea in their head that they want to do this, they want to live in this house, but you need to write it down. You need to put the pen to paper, and you need to let your brain get creative with it. You need to actually visualize what it is and where and how you want to be living. Next thing I want you to do is I want you to work out your financial freedom number. The term financial freedom gets thrown about all the time. Yeah, everybody banging on about it. Now, financial freedom means something different to everybody. To me, what financial freedom means is it means having excess income or surplus income to the point where it covers your expenses, so you don't really need to work a 9-to-5 if you don't want to. That to me is financial freedom. Obviously, being extremely financially free is slightly different. It could mean 10, 20, 30 grand a month, but a good baseline for what financial freedom is enough to cover your monthly expenses. So first, you're gonna have to work out exactly what your monthly expenses are, write it down, and work out how much money you would need a month to be able to cover that and not have to work a 9-to-5. Now, the next thing you likely want to do is you want to invest in your knowledge. Now, investing in yourself recently has had a very bad light shone on it, because there is a lot of gurus out there, a lot of fake mentors trying to teach people the wrong thing, or just trying to scam people out of money. So you need to find the right one, but they're all out there, and at the end of the day, you don't jump in a plane and think you're going to be able to fly a plane based off a couple of YouTube videos. You go get training, you learn how to do it by somebody more experienced, they teach you the ropes, and then eventually you'll fly the plane. But it's the exact same for life. I mean, you can't wing it and you can't try and learn everything by yourself, but it's going to cost you mistakes, and it's going to take a hell of a lot longer. So the best thing to do is to invest in yourself, get the knowledge. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean just go buy a very expensive course. You can invest in your knowledge by reading books, listening to podcasts. However, going straight to the source and going straight to somebody who does what you want to do in life is not a bad idea at all, and it's exactly what I've done at the start of my journey. Once you've invested in your knowledge and you've learned a new skill, you're going to use that skill to start creating some surplus income, start creating another income stream. Now, this is going to give you the ability to be able to get closer to your financial freedom number quicker. You can always do this alongside your 9-to-5. Now, the next one is nice and easy. You're going to just use that excess income that you've built up off your new skill to create a excess pot, or a nice little rainy day fund, a nice little storage of money. Now, obviously this might take some time, might take you a few months, but That's what the hustle is. The first couple of months you're gonna have to grind. You're gonna have to create that little pot of money so you've got something to fall back on. And then finally, after you've created your little pot of money, what you then want to do is you can then either use that to either quit your 9 to 5, and you'll have, obviously depending on how much your monthly expenses are and depending on how much you've saved, you'll either have a couple of months where you don't have to worry about your expenses and you're completely covered and you can focus 100% on your goal, or you can use that excess pot of money to reinvest into your chosen business model. Now, obviously we work very closely with investors that invest into rent to SA or rent to Airbnb. These usually cost about at least £5,000 to £7,000 to take on a unit, and you're going to be making about £1,000 a month for the next 36 months. So just gives you an idea of what you could do with obviously a little pot of money. Now don't get it twisted, this is a very basic strategy, however it should help to get you outside of that loop. Adios till the next one.